Why is it so hard to find a good wingman?
Life is hard.
Have you ever thought to yourself, if I only had an awesome wingman, it would make all the difference in the world? Or maybe you had a great wingman, but he just got into a relationship and now you're flying solo? Well, if that's you, you'll want to tune into this week's episode of the Inner Confidence Podcast, where we're diving into the challenges modern men face in finding a reliable wingman and why it's so important to have one. And I have my beautiful wife, Maria, here.
Hi.
And guess how I met her?
Through Wing Woman.
A wing woman. So that's a small twist. Stick around until the end of the episode because I'm going to give you the 3 best places to find a wingman and the 5 commandments of wingmanning. So you and your newly found wingman can have success. You're listening to the Inner Confidence Podcast, home to the social funnel method. My name is Robbie Kramer. I've been a coach since 2007, and I've helped over 1,300 digital nomads, expats, and remote workers build an amazing social and dating life abroad. My mission is simple: to help you position yourself to meet stunning women and make awesome friends en route to becoming the most confident and attractive version you can be. I have an intense hatred for fluff and useless advice that you can't take action on, so tune in each week to learn the most effective and implementable strategies to level up your game. So stick around, let's go. So first off, why do we need a wingman? Why do you have wing women? Cheers, by the way. We're drinking martinis here.
Coconut water.
And mine's beer, but close enough. So, do you have wing women? Or did you before we were married?
I mean, I think girls always act like wing women.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, girls discuss dating and social dynamics all the time. It's just like a normal thing.
Yeah.
You guys love drama and relationships.
Of course.
And so you're always discussing those sorts of things with your girls. Guys aren't as, we've got bigger egos and we all want to just be good at stuff and not really talk about when we're not. So it kind of creates this is an ease of girls making friends, and it makes guys have a tougher time because we don't share our emotions as much. But obviously you need a wingman. You wouldn't be listening to this episode if you didn't need one. And why? Because they help you break the ice. They give you confidence. Wingmen make social situations way less awkward. It's like having a safety net. But finding a reliable wingman is really tough these days. And one of the big reasons why it's tough is because of social media, right? Everyone's glued to their phones. Instead of going out and meeting people, many guys just scroll through apps. And this makes it harder to build real life connections. Another issue.
But wingman is just basically a friend with who you are not scared to share your emotions and like you're dating, because a lot of guys have friends, right? But they're not speaking about like dating problems, only about dating success. Oh, like I fucked that girl yesterday. Oh, cool. That's it. That's usually what men share when they are friends. But it's just like a deeper friendship where you can be vulnerable and like share your emotions. So it's basically...
Yeah, but you need someone to go out with you. That's the biggest thing. Like you need someone to help you build your social circle. You need someone to go out and approach with, right? You need an actual, man on your wing, which is where the term came from, right? It's fighter pilots having another fighter plane next to you in case the enemy comes, right?
Yeah.
You need the wingman. So, social media is not making it easier. Another reason why it's more difficult is this whole idea of individualism, right? It's telling men to do things on your own. But when it comes to dating and socializing, having a buddy is going to make all the difference. And guys don't really know where to look for a wingman, right? They might have friends, but like you said, those friends might be in relationships or they might not be interested in the same social activities, right? It's about finding someone who's on the same page and who wants to take the same action as you. So how do you find a wingman? Well, there are 3 different ways, in my opinion.
Tell me. Tell us.
I'm going to take a sip of my beer martini first. Ugh. Way number 1, join clubs or groups. And if you go out specifically looking for a wingman, you're going to find is really tough. Why?
Because you're not approaching a guy on the street and asking to be your wingman.
Yeah, guys who make great wingmen probably aren't looking for wingmen, right? Yeah. They're either in a relationship, they're already successful with women, they're social, and they probably already have a bunch of guys and wingmen, so they don't really need another one. So, what about the guys who do need wingmen? Obviously, where do we meet those guys? Well, they're in the same boat as you. They're searching. And as logical dudes, we think the best idea is to usually head to like local online communities, right? We go on Google and we Google how to find a wingman, and you'll be, linked to sites like Reddit or gameglobal.net. And
because it's usually the worst level guys that cannot speak to women. It's usually not a good, as I would think, it's not a good, you cannot find a good wingman there, because most of guys there, they're on such a basic level that they cannot approach a girl, they cannot speak to her. They still need a lot of knowledge, they still need to learn a lot to improve. That's why if you actually want to go approach women, go to bars and meet women, you won't find a good wingman there. You can find someone you will be can share your vulnerabilities, yes, but not someone who you can actually meet in real life and go approach girls.
Right. Well, these groups match guys in similar cities who are kind of already in that dating and seduction community. But the catch is that, these guys are the bottom of the barrel. So
unfortunately,
yeah.
I hope all of them can improve, but it is the truth.
So another logical step that you've probably already taken is you went on meetup.com or you went on showaround.com to find wingmen. So I'm not saying you shouldn't try these methods. You absolutely should. If you haven't already, give them a shot. You might get lucky. And if these methods haven't worked, here's what you need to understand. Men don't become friends over surface level reasons. We bond through shared goals and struggles. Look at best friends who played sports together. They experience the highs and lows of winning or losing. And look at guys who go to war together, right? I'm sure you've seen that a lot in Ukraine.
Each other, yeah.
Exactly. The stakes don't get higher than that. They literally die for each other. Yeah. So if you're not super social and you don't play team sports, join some other type of clubs with a social aspect or take a class. It could be a photography class, DJ lessons, a golf class.
Tennis lessons, pickleball lessons.
Running group.
Yeah.
Maybe a chess club, right? Chess is becoming more popular than it is.
Yeah.
And the more you compete and you share the highs and lows, the faster you're going to form bonds in these groups. For me, I grew up playing ice hockey and golf, and all my best friends and wingmen came through those activities. When I got out of college, I was no longer on the golf team. I wasn't playing hockey anymore, and I found myself in a tough spot. A lot of my friends were getting married, so I kept losing wingmen, and eventually I didn't really have any left. So I did what I kind of talked about before. I turned to the local pickup groups to meet wings. But these guys were weird. Instead of being good wingmen, they were socially awkward. They would cock block. They were creepy. And in 2006, this is aging me, I got involved with a community of guys that were trying to improve their lives in San Francisco. And even though these guys were maybe a little bit weird, they didn't have a fake egos, kind of like the other guys, right? And we were able to go out and approach girls together and be vulnerable, and it allowed us to kind of build our connection as wingmen. And a couple of the guys were on the same level. We quickly became friends. But the difference between this group compared to the Telegram groups I mentioned before, those pickup groups, is that we were all financially invested. Mm-hmm. I paid to be at that event, and so did the other guys. So it filtered out the guys who weren't serious. And most of these guys in these online communities, they're just lurkers. They would never actually invest.
But I think it's not only with dating. It's just if you want to improve a skill, right? You only committed, not always, but when you actually pay money for that, if you want to learn, I don't know, how to build a website, you can actually learn it yourself in some courses and stuff. But will you really? Mm-hmm. But when you pay a good amount of money for a course, you actually committed because you paid for it, so you actually want to learn. And
yeah, it's a higher bar, right? So, to sum it up, join clubs or groups, but understand it's not just about surface level connections. You got to look for shared goals and struggles. You got to invest in yourself, in your social life, and you'll find the right wingmen along the way. Way number 2 is use social media wisely. Social media, especially Instagram, can show you where the cool kids hang out, and by following the right accounts, and staying up to date on current trends and like the communities that you frequent, you're going to know what's in, you're going to know what's not. So for example, if you're an ice hockey player, one of the accounts that I follow is Pavel Barber. He's the most interesting interesting influencer. It's tongue twister, who's not just a player, right? And if you're into the festival and party scene, there's a great account called Super Snake, because he makes fun of that whole crowd, like that festival circuit and the trust fund crowd. If you're into golf, who should you follow?
Bryson DeChambeau, but I personally would follow Rory McIlroy because he's my favorite. I don't know about you guys.
Well, Good is another great example because they're not just professional golfers. They're kind of on the cutting edge of what's both interesting and cool in golf. And, don't go on Instagram and just doom scroll. Put time into curating your feed so it's going to deliver the info you need and the connections you can leverage to improve your life, right? Like, you might even find that you connect with some of the other accounts in the comments section, and then you can kind of go on those guys' Instagram page. You can suss it out to see if they live in your area. Maybe they'd make good wingmen, right? Like, don't forget, social media is about being social, not watching other people being social. So you can absolutely meet awesome people through the internet, but you have to start the conversation just like you would in real life, right? You can go to the bar and not talk to anyone. You can go on social media, you can not talk to anyone. You're not doing anything for yourself in either of those places, right?
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's what most of people doing. They're just like getting depressed and watching other people living their lives. So
yeah,
it's sad. But I think also what's good about social media, it's if you follow those accounts and those particular topics that you're interested, right? And you go to those groups, you meet someone, you actually have something to speak about, right? About something like, latest golf tournament, who did you were rooting for, what, blah, 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 that happened and that happened. You can actually, have something to start speak to people. Because if you just if you have nothing to share, then
you're just boring.
You're boring. No one will speak to you.
You're a fucking dud.
But if you
don't be a dud.
But if you're really good and you updated on the news and everything, everything that's going on, people will actually think, oh my God, he's interested and he also knows all these things and I do. It's actually cool that we can exchange our thoughts and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. Like you got to know about the stuff that you're interested in to make those connections. So before I tell you my favorite way, which is way number 3, I am going to give you the 5 Wingman commandments. So, there was a social experiment that basically women would rate men's attractiveness alone versus with a friend. And if the men looked fundamentally different, the ratings didn't change. But when they had similar features...
as a second man looked different.
Right. When they had the similar features, the better looking one improved his score by 2 points, while the other one lost 2 points. So let's say I'm a 7 and I go out with my buddy who's an 8. In reality, you're going to think I'm what and my buddy's what?
So we think that your buddy is 10 and you're 5.
And I'm a 5.
Yeah, because if you're the same black hair, beards, but he's much taller, whatever, much stronger or something, but no one is taller and stronger than my buddy. But if they are, it's you're losing, because why would you hang out with someone who's looking like you but better?
Exactly.
So it just stupid.
So yeah, you'll end up looking like a 5. He'll look like a 10. So rule number 1, or commandment 1, is that looks matter, And on the flip side, if you're really good looking and you want to be cruel, find a wingman who looks like you but is slightly uglier. And you'll get all the chicks.
Don't do this.
But listen, obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably struggling to find a wingman in the first place. So beggars can't be choosers. If you and your wing look similar, but he's got you in the height or looks department, just make sure you find a way to look different through your fashion, through your style. Don't wear the same outfit out that night. Better to have this situation than no wingman at all.
Yeah. But I think it's really good to find someone when you're radically different. You're bald and he has a lot of hair, and you have beard, he does, and some things that like so different and they're attracting different girls, right? Because I'm totally into beard, right? I usually would prefer guys that have beard and look older and like him. So
You're saying I look old?
you're older. You look young, actually. That pisses me off, but
We had a guy that we were just talking to about our golf content. He was shocked when he found out I was 42. He said, "You look like you're 20, 25."
25.
25. That was amazing.
And it pissed me off because I want you to look 42, as you should. So yeah, just like it's great if you can be different, then you know that you will attract different girls and you won't have that jealousy, competition about in between you and
Well,
your
the girls
wingman.
will have types a lot of the time.
No, yes, and
Yeah.
that's the thing, like if you have a beard or not, or bald or not, right? If I like someone with the beard, I will be, if someone approach me, I will be intentionally speaking with the guy with the beard who I like, and you will see that the girls have types, and it will be like a small percent of chance that the same girl will like two of you.
Well, here's the other thing too, is women really talk, right? So let's say you and your best friend go out to the bars a lot to meet guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's probably your best friend because you guys don't compete over the same guys very often.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure.
Like, you probably like a certain type of guy and she probably likes another type of guy. And
fully different types.
Right.
Fully
So you guys
different
never
types.
have that conflict,
Yeah.
which is what made you best friends.
Yeah.
So girls are already sort of like organically doing that.
Smart girls. There is
Smart
still
girls, yeah.
there is still a lot of girls who are like friends but not, like
Right.
they would like compete for the same guy and like get jealous and all those things, but like that's I think as a stupid friendship, and you first of all shouldn't have it in the first place. But like when you're really good, like actually friends, then most of the times, prior to me meeting you, right, like I've never had the same taste with my friends. It was like radically different all the time, and like we never had a problem.
Yeah.
Before we continue with the episode, if you're going out and getting numbers and want to improve your texting so more of those numbers convert to dates, check out my texting course. It will teach you the psychology of digital communication, which is surprisingly polar opposite in almost every way compared to live interactions. What works in person doesn't work in text, so this is almost always the area that men are making easily correctable mistakes that they're totally unconscious of. My course will optimize your texting, which is a skill you really need to master, and the best part is you can cut and paste your way to mastery. You can find the link in the description. It costs less than a round of drinks. And if you're going on dates and want to learn what to do so more of them end up in your bedroom, check out my free dating protocol. You'll learn to be an interesting guy to talk to, even if you're serious or over analytical. How to help a girl open up on a date, why talking about sex is a big taboo on dates if you want to get laid, and what to talk about instead, going from the first touch to the first kiss, how to invite her over to your place, and why you should skip 80% of the physical escalation moves you're doing back at your place. The link to this free guide is in the description. Out of all the guys I know, the only ones who manage to consistently land 8s and up are the guys who have built a social circle. You can certainly approach women and use the apps to get laid, but those strategies simply don't really work on top tier women. Think about it. She's hot, she has hot friends. And hot girls get invited to high status events almost every single night. So when it comes time to get ready for your date, do you think she's gonna show up or flake last minute when her girlfriend texts her to come to some awesome thing? As if she's gonna choose the random dude on Hinge or the guy who chased her down on the street over her social circle. No chance. If you're getting tons of flakes, this is the reason. But for most guys, the idea of building a social circle, especially if you're traveling or in a new city, can feel overwhelming. So they continue to hunt for women in their usual ways, and they end up settling for a girl they were never really that excited about in the first place. To avoid this fate, join our community of aspiring international playboys and instantly plug into a highly vetted social circle of cool dudes to network and navigate your journey with. You already know it's hard to find a wingman because the good ones don't really stay in the game very long. They get married, life goes on, right? Many of our members travel together, they end up living together, and they build amazing social circles in the best kept secret locations around the globe with gorgeous women and low cost of living. I'm extremely careful who I let into this community, but if you feel like you'd make a good fit, you can learn more about the social funnel method to consistently land top tier women and apply to join our community. The link is in the description. Now let's get back to the show.
So, commandment number 2, don't get jealous. No calling dibs. Do you know what dibs are?
No.
So guys do this thing where like you see a hot girl and you're like, I call dibs, meaning like I called her first, so I get her.
will never work. She's choosing, unfortunately, for you.
Guys like to think that they can call dibs, but the reality of the situation is
You will block your friend that she may like, and you're not getting her. Your friend is not getting her. No one is
psychologically you're really screwing yourself over, because if you call dibs, right, now what's going to happen is your buddy's not allowed to flirt with her because you called dibs. So he's not going to show her any interest whatsoever, which is probably just going to make her more interested. And you're going to show interest, which is going to come across as an overinvestment.
Oh, yeah.
So she's going to like him because you called dibs. But now he can't hook up with her because you called dibs and he's being a good friend. So you're both losing.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, I read the wrong way. Wop, yop, yop. Right? You're both losing. Stop calling dibs. It's so damn cringe. Like, don't do it. Don't get jealous if she likes your boy better. It probably has nothing to do with you. It's probably he's just her type.
Yeah, just
right?
different types.
Like, go into the situations, like in your social circle, or if you're approaching girls together in the bars, like, just try to go be cool, and the girls will signal who they like. And if they like you, and you know that, you go for that girl. If the other girl likes a friend, your friend goes for that girl. Like, go for the girls who like you. Don't try to get the girls you want, because it doesn't work, right? Like, stop being thirsty. Stop being so intentional. Like, just go have fun. Let it all kind of organically happen.
And also, like, this love, like, everyone, I mean, it's annoying that everyone speak about this love bombing. Do I say that correctly?
Love bombing?
Love bombing.
Love bombing.
How do you call
Love
it?
bombing.
Love bombing. Okay, don't make fun.
You don't pronounce the last B in bomb.
Why do you have it if you don't pronounce it on the first place?
Ask Mr. English.
So, you know, even though, like, I understand a lot of guys are like, you know, say that it's so stupid, why if you, like, show interest and affection and everything and you're, like, nice person, why is it bad? But, like, I understand it's stupid, but, like, it is how it is and you cannot change it. So if you're gonna do this, she's gonna lose interest. Just, like, have it as a rule. Do not do that.
So you mean love bombing and showing too much interest?
Yeah, you know, because, like, I understand.
So there's a couple different types of love bombing. There's, like, telling a girl that you're, like, telling a girl that you're banging that you're in love with her, so she, like, falls in love with you, and then you kind of ghost. So that's one type of love bombing.
No, I'm talking about the one when you just meet a girl and you immediately, oh my god, it was amazing meeting. I love to see you. It was so good. I miss you. When can we meet
That's
next
just kind
time?
of more simping, cringing.
You know, yeah, and it's like, wait, we just met. Like, I've seen you once.
Right.
Like, I, like, had no time to, like, still, like, had any feelings develop. I need, like, a few meetings to understand.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
all those
That's
things.
cringy as fuck. Don't do that.
Yeah, and it's like, I understand, but no, a lot of guys actually don't understand. They're like, if I like you, if you like me, what's the problem? Like, you know, if you see that I'm nice and, like, all those things, but, like, it just, like, have it as a rule. It's, don't do
You got to
this. It's
remain
just,
a
like,
mystery. You can't give away your cards so easily. You can't wear your emotions on your sleeve, and it doesn't work, right? Like, women fall in love with the guy who mysterious, right? If she knows that you like her, odds are she doesn't really think that highly of herself, because most people have low self-esteem. So the fact that you like her makes you a loser because she thinks she's a loser a lot of the time. That's why, you know, people that have, they say anxious attachment don't tend to link up together. But I digress. So that's number 2. Don't get jealous. Don't call dibs. Commandment number 3 is the size of the group that you're approaching. This is kind of one where if you're out and you're approaching women together, the size matters, right? So if I'm out solo,
oh my god, it was like, size matters when you are approaching. It was like, how do you approach?
So we don't really need to use a solo situation. Like, if I'm out solo, whatever, I go to talk to a girl who's alone, or I might have to talk to 2 girls who are together. But better is talk to a girl that's alone, or talk to a group of 3 girls. Because what'll happen naturally in any conversation is that if I approach you and your 2 friends, right, and I'm just being cool and normal, naturally one of you, probably the one who likes me the most, is going to kind of, like, couple us off. Mm-hmm. Right? Maybe you'll kind of, like, step in the way and physically box your friends out a little bit. We'll end up in 2 different conversations, most likely, right? Because people tend to pair off and talk in groups of two. That's what couples do, right? So if you're a group of 2 guys and you're going out, approach groups of girls that are 2 girls or 4, right? If you approach a group of 3 girls, that's when you have a problem, because then you have a fifth wheel situation. You got 2 guys, you got 2 girls, and you got the friend, right? And the friend's getting bored. The friend starts getting on her phone, and and then she gets up and she's like, we need to go. Yeah. Let's go to the bathroom. Blah, 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 blah. You like my girl voice?
No, I don't.
Yeah. My LA bitchy valley girl voice. We need to go to the bathroom. Let's go do some coke in the bathroom. Come on. So don't, if it's a group of 3, then one of you should go in, not both of you, right? So rule number 4, commandment number 4, I should say, is always introduce your wing on the opening line if you approach together. If you approach solo, he needs to wait until the girls are being receptive, and then he should come over, in which case he should address you, and then you should introduce him to everyone else. Mm-hmm. So the idea is, if you and I are wingmen and I walk over, a good story that I can remember is I was in Croatia with my buddy Pablo, and we saw these 2 girls. They were sitting on a seawall. We had just come from dinner, ate a bunch of fish, and we were about to go approach, and I was like, wait, we should go get some gum first, because we probably smell like garlic and fish and nasty crap. So we went into a little kiosk, we bought some Tic Tacs, and then we walk over, and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna give this opening line. I call this the play-by-play, because literally it's like the John Madden. If you guys are, I'm maybe aging myself, but John Madden was an NFL, maybe he still works. He was an announcer, and he would announce like football and play-by-play. The quarterback shuffles back, he drops in the pocket, and then he throws it to number 59, long pass. He goes, a touchdown. So the idea is you're just announcing what you're doing in a play-by-play scenario. So what I did is I walked over to the 2 girls. Pablo was next to me, and I said, hey, we were walking by and we saw you guys sitting here, and we were gonna come and talk to you, except we both realized that we probably smelled bad because we ate this huge fish dinner. So we went into there and we got some gum, and now we're here with our minty fresh breath to say what's up. I'm Robbie, this is Pablo.
Oh my God.
And they thought that was fucking hilarious. Literally, what did I do? Nothing. I just announced what I was doing, right? And because I was willing to like say like the most ridiculous thing that was on my mind, that worked. And we ended up pairing off with them and almost hooking up with them, but we lost them at the end of the night. We were whatever. We lost our wifeys is what me and one of my friends would always joke about, but not Pablo, the other guy who was there. But man, we were close. So we spent the whole night with them anyway. So the idea is, what was my idea? I completely forgot. No, if you approach with your wingman, introduce him. But if you go over, let's say I just talked about this situation before where there's a group of 2 girls, right? And I don't want to go over right with him. Maybe I just go in alone and I start talking to you and your friend, right? My wingman should wait and just kind of chill, on his phone or drinking or whatever. And he should wait to see if you and your friend are giving me positive signs of interest. And then he should come in, right? And he shouldn't come in and be like, hey, ladies, who are you? This is my friend. He's a real dunce, isn't he? Right? Like, that would be lame. He should just come over and ignore them. And he should be like, yo, man, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, he should just kind of like tap me on the shoulder, right? And like maybe say something in my ear. And I'll be like, oh, hey, meet my friend Don. Don. Hey, meet my friend Don, right? So I'll pull Don in. I'm like, Don, this is Maria. This is Tina. They're trouble. And if I want to signal to him which one I like, not that we're calling dibs, but let's say one of them is giving me a lot of interest, and I say, this is Maria and Tina. Maria's trouble. Look out for her. That means I like Maria and Maria likes me. So you should talk to Tina. So that's kind of like cool wingman code. She's trouble, or you and your wingman can work out your own sort of version of that. But that's how you know like who you should kind of pair off with. But don't call dibs. Okay.
Hey, real quick. So I know that every episode of this show dives deep into one specific idea, topic, or strategy related to confidence and dating skills, but have you ever zoomed out to think about your overall strategy of your dates? If you haven't, I highly recommend it. It's one of the most important things you could possibly do, and I'd love to help. I recently released a PDF of my 4-venue dating protocol, which my clients swear is the most valuable piece of dating advice they've ever read. It outlines the same 4-step process that both me and my clients have used to date scores of amazing women and create the relationships, either short-term or long-term, exactly on your terms. So if your conversion rate from first dates to second dates isn't at least 80%, this will revolutionize your results. So if that would be interesting to you, the link to the dating protocol is in the show notes. All right, let's get back to the show.
Commandment number 5. Don't expect your wingman to jump on more than 1 grenade per night. You know what a jumping on a grenade is?
No.
So the
I
idea...
don't think it's a military term.
No, quite literally, it's like you're going to save your buddy from the grenade. You know, someone throws a grenade in a room.
I know.
Okay, so you jump on it, killing yourself, but saving
Bobby,
your friends.
is that what I told you? I hope it's not the military term.
Okay,
I know what the military
So with the
term
grenade is, let's say you're out and you have a really fat, unattractive friend. Right? We don't have to call her fat. Why am I fat shaming? I'm such a fat shamer. It's because I used to be fat, so I take great pride.
You're allowed.
I'm allowed to fat shame. Okay. I'm still a little bit fat
here.
But anyways, let's say you're out with your unattractive friend, and she's way too unattractive for my friend to be interested. It's his job to play wingman and talk to her and give me time to win you over, right? And I can rely on him to do that 1 time per night. And he can rely on me to do that 1 time per night. But if I'm consistently asking him to do that, it's just bad wingman etiquette. It's just horrible. It's rude. So don't make your friend jump on more than 1 grenade. Try to not make him jump on any grenades, even better. So a situation where that would likely come up, though, is like, let's say I think you're out alone and I talk to you and we're hitting it off, and then your friend comes over and she's bad. But it's his job to be a good wingman and to intercept. We got a bogey, 10-4, 10-4, bogey, come in. And then he comes in, and then you're good. All right. One more. This isn't really a commandment, but it should just be said. Compliment, don't compete. So a normal thing that guys do is we like to make fun of each other and tease each other and bust each other's balls. But when you're out with each other, like, that doesn't really work. Women don't think that's funny. They kind of think it's childish, or they might not get the joke. So it's way better to be like, yo, it's my friend. He's the man. He's like the coolest guy ever, blah, 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 blah. Like, even embellish and be like, yeah, he's got like 3 Oscars, a few Emmys. He won the Super Bowl. He won the Wimbledon. He's really cool. You should fall in love with him. He's a good guy. He'll take you for a seafood dinner. Never call you back after. I think that was a dumb Anchorman reference. But anyways, don't compete. Don't make fun of him. Compliment. And finally, for way number 4, my favorite way, which probably won't be surprising, is if you want to find the best wingman possible, join the Inner Confidence community. I've already made it my job to find that guy for you. He's already there. Like, you already have a vetted group of invested and awesome guys that are looking to build a high-value social circle. And these are guys all around the world. So if you're a remote worker, if you're an expat, if you're a digital nomad, or if you're living in the US and maybe you just don't have, a local wingman because they're all married or... But
it's not even like what I like about the group, that a lot of guys, they, you have like a Discord group, they get, like they find like-minded guys. Right. And they also a lot of the times go, if they live in different cities or countries, they jump out on like headphones when they go alone, approach girls.
Well, we have a wingman hub on WhatsApp. So
WhatsApp.
So anytime a guy doesn't have a wingman, right, but he wants to go out and approach, I say never go out approaching alone, ever. It's dangerous. There's bad things that can happen. So instead, phone a friend, right? Like, so they text in the WhatsApp thread and they say, hey, is anyone free to jump on a call? I want to go out. I need a wingman. So some of the guys, there's 55 guys in the group, someone will respond and say, yeah, hit me up. So you jump on a call, and it usually inspires the other guy to go out too. Right?
Yeah, they usually both go and they both approach.
Right.
And it helps
in between,
really.
Yeah, they're talking to each other. In between, one guy will be like, all right, I see a girl. She's alone. It's pretty easy. He'll be like, go now. And then
it's like your motivator, and you feel better. And even if it didn't work out, he will be like, that's okay. Like, first three are not
It
successful.
gets you out of your head.
Yeah.
And you'll do so much more by doing that. So like if you're trying to day game, right, and you don't have that, like you just good
You're
luck.
alone. Yeah.
You're just not gonna do it.
But it's just like also,
it's impossible.
You cannot expect that you're alone, you go to approach and like you will get the success from the first try, because also, you're like rusty. You need to try a few times, you need to like fail a few times, you need to get like little
The
boosts.
first one's gonna suck.
Yeah, and second and third probably too, but like you need to like understand, because most of guys, they'll try 3 times, they will suck badly, and they'll hate themselves, and they will like leave
quit,
and quit and never try again. But like if they try 4th time when they warmed up, maybe it would
Well, the wingman's going to give you the
work
positive enforcement, right?
No, yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, when you do
you
badly,
won't give up. You will like warm
your
up.
wingman's going to tell you like, "Good job, man!" Like he's going to give you that enforcement instead of you beating yourself up.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be like, "That's awesome, man!" Like especially if you kind of, maybe you keep the phone. It's better if you have like, AirPods in, and right, you just keep the phone in your pocket, you keep one AirPod in. That way he can hear you, and like he can learn from the approach. You guys can give each other feedback, right? I'm also telling guys to record their approaches with like an Apple Watch, or just have like an MP3 recorder. You can post those in the group, and you can get feedback on those approaches. Like, because we'll listen to the recordings and give you feedback. But the best thing about the group is that the guys like. So I arrange at least twice a year for us all to meet in a city and go, and I'll pick a city where a guy, that usually like a small group of guys, are already building their social circle, and I'll help them plan a party. The rest of us will come, and we'll try to, invite cool people to the party, and we'll learn how to build our social circle while helping those guys who are currently doing it. And those friendships, the same thing that happened to me when I went to those workshops. These are invested guys who are exactly like you, who are trying to improve, who are having the same playbook to improve. And that makes it all the difference in the world, because like finding a guy to be a wingman and to push you is the most important thing in the entire journey of improving yourself with women than anything else, because that guy will make the difference between you doing it and you not. And what's better than one guy? 55 guys, right? Who are all heavily invested in pushing you. And a lot of the times the guys will move to each other's city.
If you are like working in IT and you're like a remote worker.
Because most of the guys in the group are.
But the thing that what I really love to read in the group, as soon as they sign up, and obviously it's only if you're like a remote worker, they see the effects of the group, how it's changing your life, that they're ready to make like a radical change, and like not just switch the city, most of the time switch the country, because they understand how it's gonna improve your your love life. And it's like, for a man, it's really important to like, be able to date, be able to feel confident. It's just like a huge like game changing. I
mean, literally just today at 7:22 a.m. my time, one of the guys posted in our wins and fails section in the Discord. He said, "Win, met up with member in New York City, and we did an approaching session. Super productive. Ended up with 10 approaches. My goal was 3. This guy's a social beast. It was great hanging out with him in person."
Amazing.
Right? And then another one, he was saying how he spent the last month in Austin, Texas, and he went there specifically with another guy who didn't live in Texas, because there were 2 guys living in Texas that they could meet up with, and they were out and like, helping each other with their text, helping each other with their online dating, approaching together. He said he got more done in the last, whatever time he spent in Austin than he had in the previous like year, because he had a guy that he was like working on this stuff with. It's just a total game changer, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny to me that like whenever I have, a call with a potential client and I ask them, what's your biggest sticking point? What's your biggest problem? They always say the same thing. I don't have a wingman. Right? So guys understand that like having a wingman is so vital, but it's also really damn hard to find one.
Yeah.
So, the local expat communities, if you're an expat or whatever, they probably don't provide good quality options, because they're mostly filled with kind of like dorky guys who kind of left the U.S. to teach English because they couldn't hack it back at home. Obviously exceptions exist, but trying to find a wingman just like out and about, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Like you really need to either be on a sports team together, be in a club together, go through those, build the relationship without like any idea about a wingman, and then you become wingman. Or you need to do the polar opposite of that, which is join a community with guys that are just like you,
ready to be wingman,
ready to do it, right? There's really no other way. So like I said, our community is currently 55 guys strong, but we have guys building social circles together in Montreal, Berlin, Cologne, Germany, Sofia, Bulgaria, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Poland. We have guys in the U.S., L.A., New York City, San Francisco, Sacramento, Austin. So if you're interested, hit the link in the description, fill out the application. If I think you're a good fit, and I suss everyone out before they come, and if I don't think you're a good fit, I'll send you elsewhere. But if I do think you're a fit, we'll jump on a call and see if it's a good fit. So to all the wing women out there, and to my lovely wife, cheers. See you guys next time.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're a regular listener and you're digging our content, do me a favor, leave us a 5-star review. It's how other people learn about the show and how we can spread the word. If you don't feel like it's worthy of 5 stars, just go ahead, don't leave any review at all. And I want to let you know that we've opened up a few slots in our exclusive community. We're accepting applications to join our select group of men and experience the radical power of accountability, step up your game, cross everything off your sexual bucket list, and become a beast at accomplishing all of your goals. To learn more and apply, go to innerconfidence.com/community.